Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Monchkinz Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkinz logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. And welcome to my video guide on the Giant Across Dimensions EX and Cosmos fight. Now this event is basically out because of the new level 70 Crystal Awakening for 6 characters, which are Warrior of Light, Laguna, Shantotto, Saz, Cater, and Ida. So, I have been debating inside my head whether I should be making a video for this fight. Now the reason being is it's a one-wave fight, and this is essentially the very first raid boss that we got here in the global version of the game for Dissidia Opera Omnia. Now, I'm not sure in the future if all raid bosses will be like this, which essentially is a one-wave fight. So I guess my question for you guys is, if you still would like me to make video guides on these so-called raid bosses, even though they will probably be just one-wave fights, leave down in the comments below, let me know. And if you smash that like button, you know, it really lets me know that you guys still want to see these kinds of content, and it really encourages me to make these videos. But without further ado, let's start this video. Just before we do start, one last thing is, I noticed that the actual the video is disproportionate than it usually is, because now when I record on my phone it's like a full screen, and when I put it here on my editor it basically is a full screen, but there's like gaps in the top and in the bottom, and if I expand the video it looks a little bit disproportioned. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Oh god, I'm still sick. Anyway, it's disproportioned, so let me know if you guys are okay with this, or you would rather me, maybe I'll, you know, play around and see if I can fix it on my phone and I can enlarge it much better in the better proportion. Anyway, I'm sorry about this. I only noticed it when I was already editing my banner pool, so sorry for that, and I'll try my best to work around it. But I like playing in like full screen mode on my phone as well, so, and where in the past it wasn't, so I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. Do I play a non-full screen on my phone and probably better proportion videos, or I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, let's start this video. Alright, as always, we'll start off with the weaknesses, resistances, and the abilities of the last boss. In this case, it is the Atlas. Now, we have fought the Atlas in the story mode before, but as for this version of the Atlas, it is weak to wind and dark elements. It doesn't have any resistances, and as for its abilities, it has Punch, which is a melee brave attack, HP attack, a melee HP attack, Sonic Punch, which is a melee brave attack, which has a high turn rate. It also has Heavy Punch, which is another melee brave attack. This raises its turn rate when inflicting break or attacking a target afflicted with break. Next, it has Roar, which is a group magic brave attack, which grants itself a max brave up, attack up, and speed up to itself. Next up, it has the plus version of Roar, which is again a group magic brave attack. This grants itself a max brave up, attack up, speed up to itself, and it also increases its brave. Next is Squash, which is a increased brave plus melee brave attack plus HP attack. Chain Strike, which is probably the most dangerous move that it has. Basically, it increases its brave again, and it is a group melee brave attack plus HP attack. And finally, it has Bursting with Power, which raises its attack, max brave, and speed. Okay, so now that we know the abilities, the weaknesses, and resistances of the Atlas, let's take a look at some general tips and guide. Now, the first one is to actually go ham with your abilities. It's a one-way fight. You do not need to hold back. Do as much damage as you can and let him know who's boss. The next one is to bring in the boosted characters such as Warrior of Light, Laguna, Shantoto, Saz, Ida, and Cater. Now, if you don't have any of these characters, other characters that you may want to bring are Quistis, Cloud, Furion, Thancred, Zack, Agrius, Bartz, Sarah, Sephiroth, Freya, Vayne, Lael, Squall, Lightning, Renoa, Kefka, Fran, or Golbez. Now, I may have missed out a few characters here and there, such as Balthier. I think he will do pretty well here by stealing those buffs. But if I listed every single character, it's just gonna take way too long, and it's gonna be a very, very long list. So forgive me if I didn't put every single character that I feel like will help here. I mean, the other one here is Ash. Ash can do pretty well here as well. Literally any character that is level 60 and you have an EX weapon is pretty much viable in this run, as long as they're more or less like single target orientated. The twins can still help, but more or less you probably won't be as effective. So there you go. Now, as for healers and brave battery options, of course you have Ram, Selphie, Maria, Eiko, Lena, and of course Kate Sith. And as for the summon, it's always going to be Ifrit at the moment, and Shiva as well. They are the only level 30 summons that we have currently, until we get one maybe in the following month or two. And now let's take a look at some general tips for the actual fight itself. Now, the first one, again, we'll start off with the support character, is to actually just bring Quistis as your support. Delaying here is actually like really good, and the speed down really helps as well, so you get more turns, and essentially just, you know, just delay the boss and it won't be able to hurt you. The next one is to actually bring Warrior of Light. So if you have Warrior of Light, you have maxed out his 15 and 35 CP. You do not need his EX in order for him to be effective in this fight. It would be nice, but you actually don't need his EX at all. All you need is that Shining Shield and that Provoke, and you should be fine. You can actually bring in different tanks, say Zack as well, but Zack doesn't protect everyone else while the Warrior of Light does, so whenever it does an all attack, then you cannot save your other party members if you are using Zack. Now, the next one is to bring in a debuffer, because those buffs that it gives itself, yeah, they're quite painful. So if you can push out those buffs, that will be great. If you can remove them, that will be awesome. So Vanille, Faris can actually do pretty well as well. They can remove those buffs. Again, Balthier, I mentioned earlier, even though I didn't list him as one of the characters that you can bring. Balthier can actually steal those buffs and actually use it for himself, and therefore be effective in this fight. Now, the last one is to watch out for the all attacks. Basically, once it's powered up, and you will see it power up, it will do a little animation. At most, this will likely be a Chain Strike, and Chain Strike is, again, its group melee brave attack plus HP attack. Now, while the Warrior of Light can prevent you from getting broken, it cannot defend you from getting hit by the HP damage. Now, while this sucks if you don't have his EX weapon, if you have his EX weapon, the Warrior of Light will actually just heal you up when he finishes using his EX attack. So if you have his EX, that's great. You actually don't need to bring a healer in this fight. Alright, so now that we know some tips, let's take a look at some possible party composition. The first one is obviously going to be the boosted characters. I have here Warrior of Light, Laguna, Shantoto with a Quistis support with an Ifrit or Shiva summon as the first one. Now you may be wondering why I don't have Cater, I don't have Ida, and I don't have Saz in this team, or at least consider them, because these three, the one that I have listed here, have all gone through a rework, which makes them potentially more effective than any of the other three. So if you're planning to bring a boosted character, you might as well bring these three, because they are the most effective boosted characters that you can bring. Now the next one is the Warrior of Light, Fran, and Lightning, and that is what you guys are seeing in this video. By the way, as always, the first part of this video is the EX fight, and the second part will be the Cosmos fight, and you will see it like just transition. Just a quick note on that, because I didn't mention earlier. Anyway, Quistis for support, Ifrit or Shiva for the summon. Basically, Fran is really good at single target bosses, and if you can basically inflict the boss with her unique debuff, then you can probably take advantage of that throughout the entire fight. Whereas I really hate her when there's like trash mobs and you know she inflicts the debuff and then the mob dies, and it feels like it's such a waste, you know. But in this case, Fran is really effective, and I would highly recommend actually bring her if you don't have any other debuffers. Now the next team I have here is the Warrior of Light, Vayne, and Sarah with a Quistis support. Again, Ifrit, Shiva for the summon. This is basically just like kind of like overkill, to be honest. Vayne makes this fight like a joke, and Sarah with her debuff and buff, you know, it's just insanely strong with this combination. Actually, my first Cosmos co-op fight, this was the team that actually beat it, and it beat it soundly as well. Thank you to the two friends that, you know, joined me for that fight. Enjoyed that very much. I actually was looking for like boosted characters, but I decided, well, you know, why not, we'll see. And yeah, that was a pretty cool fight. Now the last one I have here is basically Zac, Vanille, and Golbez. So Vanille can be replaced here. Again, you can replace Vanille with Fran, or even Kefka, another character I don't know if I mentioned. Alright, I went back and checked. Yes, I did mention Kefka. There you go. So for Kefka fans, there you go. I put Kefka on the list. So Vanilla is replaceable again. Golbez is probably one of the best DPS that we have right now in the game, and of course taking advantage of that darkness weakness is probably something not a lot of people will actually check. I know Shantoto can do dark magic as well, dark element attacks as well, but Golbez is probably the most famous one in terms of in this game anyway. You can actually use Leonhardt as well. He's a dark base attack, but he doesn't have an EX, so that's probably one of the downfalls for him. So again, Quistis for support, Ifrit and Shiva for the summon, probably the best option. Alright, so we are going through the end of this video. Now, what do I think of this fight? Well, honestly guys, this is probably one of the easiest Cosmos that we have received as of this date. I don't really see anything that's gonna stop you from clearing this unless you're like a new player altogether. If you're a veteran, if you have at least 3 characters that have, an EX weapon, chances are you're probably able to beat this. And I don't think there's any score requirements as far as I can remember, because I actually just went through the EX fight and then went straight ahead to the Cosmos fight, and I accidentally, before looking through all the rewards that I got, I accidentally just pressed accept all, and I didn't notice that if there was any high score requirement for you to get all the rewards. But as for just getting the minimum high score, you shouldn't have any problems. Again, if you have 3 characters with the EX, 1 probably a tank, 1 with a debuffer, and 1 DPS, you should be fine. And if you don't, try pull for Warrior of Light. He is insanely strong. You do not need his EX for him to be effective at all. You do not need his EX. I repeat, you do not need his EX to be effective. You can just put a healer on top of him, and that will probably solve your problems for the HP requirement, so yeah, I found that this fight was really easy and didn't have any difficulties at all, because obviously it's a one-way fight. Anyway, I think I will end the video right here. Please remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, leave down in the comments below which team you use to actually beat this Atlas. And of course, again guys, I just want to reiterate that if you guys really prefer, or if you enjoy these kinds of videos, because I am not sure whether the raid bosses in the future will just be one-way fights, and if they are, if you guys are still interested in me making video guides for these raid bosses, yeah, leave down in the comments below. And of course, smashing that like button really, again, it really encourages me to actually keep making these videos and try my best to at least release a video every other day, at least if I don't have any work. And I try my best, when I see all these views and the likes, and yeah, it just really encourages me to make these videos. Anyway guys, this is Monchkinz logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level. And I'll probably just speed this up, and so you guys can watch it to the end in like full screen. See you guys.